I'm Phil, and I'm here to share with you what it's like living with end-stage renal failure. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned before that living with this condition involves a reasonable amount of administration. One of the things that need to be done regularly, of course, are my monthly blood tests. And in order to be ready for that, I need to make sure I've got the vacuum tubes, the actual tubes that the blood goes in, and the labels on those tubes, and the specimen bag all ready to go before I start dialysis on the day or days I'm going to be doing the blood tests. So towards the end of each year, I get a folder that contains all of my pre and post blood tests. So my monthly blood tests to check on the how well dialysis is working. But I also, about the same time, get an envelope full of requests for tissue typing. And that is the 3 tubes that I take at the beginning of the month for matching on the transplant list that I'm on. I could prepare my blood sample materials each month, but I know myself well enough to know that it wouldn't take long before I'd do it at the last minute and I'd run out of tubes or labels or something. So what I do is I get hold of MedLab and tell them what I need for the year, and they very kindly pack it up for collection, which you can see the specimen bags at the back and the tubes there. And then I just sit down and I do the whole year's worth at once. So the easiest way I figure to do it is to do all the ones that are similar together. So I'm just working out here and getting my 12 bags so that I can do the transplant tissue matching tests all at once. Just like when I do the blood tests, when I draw the blood, keeping things hygienic and sterile is just as important. So I almost forgot. The transplant ones are always 3 gold tubes, so we'll just knock those out, get all 12 of them done. Getting those labels lined up properly is a bit fiddly, and to be honest, I don't have the best coordination to that sort of thing. So some of them end up looking a bit messy, but haven't had any sent back yet. Did have one sent back earlier in the year that I'd forgotten to put the label on, but this is the benefit of doing this all in one hit. Okay, so now we need to add the vacuum tube, which is the tool that's used to connect to the blood lines to actually draw the blood out when I'm collecting the samples. The last thing to do is label the bags. So in this case, I put a T on them for transplant. For the pre-dialysis bags, I'll put the month, so I know which month it is, because they do vary from month to month. And then for the post-dialysis, which is always 1 gold tube, I just put a P on. And then when I put them in the box where they're stored, I put them in order of T, month, P. T, month P in that way. I don't have to mess around trying to find things as I work my way through the year. Of course, I need to put the script in the back of the bag so that when I come to collect the blood, it all gets sent into the lab with the correct information. And just another bit of preparation, making sure everything's ready to go. When I got to the next lot of tubes, I discovered I was going to run out of labels. So rather than doing all the post bags as I normally would, because they all have the one gold in them, I did each month followed by a post, followed by the next month, followed by a post, and so on. And I got all the way to November before I ran out of labels, which is pretty easy to remedy. Just get hold of the lovely ladies at the renal clinic, and they got another batch of labels printed off for me, and good to go.
Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. If you enjoyed it or found it interesting, I'd appreciate it if you could hit like. If you want to know more about what it's like living with end-stage renal failure, then go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.